Hello everyone, and welcome to the back nine of the semifinals of the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship presented by Guaranteed Rate. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker, and we are the two hockeys.
Honk honk. We are watching the top four women who, are the top four seeds in the Pro Tour this year. Paige Pierce, Catrina Allen, Sarah Hokom, and Missy Gannon. We've seen some hot scores here, 4 down, 3 down, Hokom hanging in there at 1 down. Paige with a rough start. She cleaned it up on the back half of the front nine, but she really needs the birdies. Only the top four advance to the finals tomorrow.
And as we move into this round, it does get harder and harder to find those birdie opportunities. There's a pretty nice cushion in the first 5 or 6 holes especially. But moving into the back nine, we start with hole 10, which is the most difficult hole on the day. It's 345 feet. Basically a max distance type shot, but you have to go over this hill, uphill, and then just slightly back downhill to the right-hand side. There's not a really friendly line to get there. It's like a max power sidearm or maybe a turnover up the left side, but the straight line is really tough to find the green.
Yeah, I like the flip up fairway driver on the right side that just flies perfectly straight and gives you a long look. That was a rough kick. Bit of grip lock, and I will be surprised if she has anything.
Yeah, that one looked like it went kind of hard right. Missy going for that middle gap with the flip up, just like Erika said. Catching a tree, though, about halfway. Kicking left, but not too bad. She did a good job of keeping it low, minimizing the damage. Catrina opting for the left side. I like this play a lot. It's a confident play. It's a power play, though, because if you do hit one of those trees on that Anheuser angle, it has a tendency to kick pretty far.
Yeah, it's a little easier to save your par from the left rather than the right. This shapes up really well for a sidearm. Again, it's hard to get it all the way there, but that was a beautiful shot with Sarah's crave.
345 feet, like slightly uphill.
Super technical line.
Shaping a shot through the woods. I mean, this is such a hard hole. I'm not surprised at all that it plays as one of the harder holes on the course.
Paige with a really amazing scramble shot. Going just a nice high Anheuser, and she'll have a putt.
I think most people in the field are not necessarily counting on birdie here. Like, this is not by no means a gimme.
Absolute bonus.
Yeah, absolute bonus. I think most people would be looking at a long putt with a birdie look.
Catrina left herself with a bit of a long putt to save her par. Missy with an undertaker.
Wow.
Yeah, beautiful.
Her forehand's looking so strong today. Her putt always is looking great. Her forehand has come a long way.
It's just getting better and better.
Really is able to rely on it.
Paige leaving herself a little farther than she wants for her bogey putt.
Sarah just has a little forehand chip shot. We've been seeing her throw a lot of backhand approaches, but that sidearm chip game has
on point.
Gone nowhere. Catrina for 3.
Big hit.
Missed a couple putts there in the middle on the front 9, but starting the back 9 strong.
Well, the front, I think she missed just 2 in a row on hole 9, so that was a really confident correction. Paige splashes out low left to take a double. Hole 10 showing its teeth.
Missy recovering well from her early tree hit. Nobody found circle 1 for birdie today. That's not surprising at all. This is a little bit of a change from years past. This used to be a par 4 for us with a tee pad a little bit further back. I'm a little surprised at the change here. Can't quite understand it.
We'll just move on, though.
I think it's one of the few holes that I do have an issue with on this course. Everything else has been awesome. I really love the way they've designed these FPO tee pads.
Absolutely. Hole 4 is another shorter par 4 at 504 feet. It's hole 11. It's a par 4. I love doing that. You're again just trying to separate the hole into 2 solid shots. You don't really need absolute max distance. You can just piece it together with 2 putters or mid-ranges or anything that you can throw approximately 250 feet. Again, like all the tee shots in the woods out here, it is a bit demanding, pretty tight here. I would say straight or right side is a little bit better like Missy's doing. There's a little more room, I think, on the right than the left if you're early. And that was gorgeous.
Yeah, early left is very hard to recover from, and also late left, around 150 feet from the green. There's just not a lot to work with over there.
So all left is
Pretty
bad.
much all left. There's a little bubble in the middle.
Yeah. And you can see this is drifting to the right, but again, there's so much room over there. And that was an absolutely massive shot from Catrina.
Yeah, that was smashed.
She threw her X3, and she can even think about throwing it in for an eagle, maybe?
Especially with her little soft approach / putt that she does so well. Hokom working the left side. I don't think this is on purpose, but she gets through a whole bunch of trees that definitely could have knocked her out of the air.
Paige just throwing a fierce, again, separating the hole in two, not trying to get crazy, just trying to throw it nice and straight, and that looks great. Maybe behind a fairway tree, but distance-wise, there's not a ton.
That fairway tree definitely gets in the way of a lot of landing zone area. But, like, you can recover from there easily is what I'm trying to say. You can throw a backhand, you can throw a forehand. It's pretty wide open around that fairway tree.
Sarah throwing her matrix, and she's just parked for her birdie. Paige with 230 feet to go. Separating the hole in two, like we said, maybe throwing it in.
Wow.
Once again, a bit too long, but inside the circle, maybe a 30-footer.
This is another middle of the pack hole. Half the field finding circle one in regulation.
Missy throwing her meteor. I think she was just shy of the circle. Hard to say from there. We'll see. And Catrina, just look how far she got. And just smartly parking it for the birdie. Yeah, Missy outside the circle. Maybe 38 feet. Another
Hyzer
wide
putt.
straddle.
Oh, just a little low on the cage. She makes hyzer putting look easy, and it is not easy, folks. She's really dialed in her putter so much that she can bait it at the right point. Paige looking so confident from circle's edge.
Yeah,
Hitting
she
her
really
birdie putt.
needs these birdies right now, and she knows it.
And she executes. Missy for her par. Still keeping that scorecard nice and clean.
Really easy looking birdie from Sarah. Not necessarily a sidearm hole, but she's really good at birdieing what are not necessarily sidearm holes.
Catrina with the tap and birdie as well.
Hole 12 is a big long par 5. It's 819 feet. Doesn't really matter too much where your tee shot lands as long as you're not shanked off to the right. Then you're bending almost 90 degrees through this kind of small grove of trees into this gap, and then you have to progress, I don't know, 100, maybe 150 feet through this tunnel to an elevated pin. Birdie is absolutely in play. Everybody can birdie this out here. Everyone's licking their chops, ready to just unleash one. You've been in the woods for a while. It's nice just to open up on this drive.
There was a little bit of a swirly wind on this hole, a little bit of a headwind. Katrina looks like she might have got a grip lock.
Yeah, and that's kind of the one mistake that you can't make. I mean, obviously you can make it, but it's hard to birdie from there. It's still possible, but really, really hard. This is a much better landing zone. Beautiful shot shape from Sarah.
I was going to say it doesn't really matter where you land on this tee shot, but it does if you're in the woods.
Yeah. Paige breaking out, I think, her first distance driver of the day. This is a Zeus.
Turning it over a little bit, finding that right side, and that is where things can get tricky.
Yeah. So it does matter where you land it, it turns out.
If you're going for max distance, yeah.
If you're short of those bushes, you can still do a lot, but, you know, being fully right side or in those bushes makes it really tough. And Missy, last on the box, looks like she corrected on the wind reads from her fellow backhand players and puts it right in the ideal landing zone. Oof.
Oof. Katrina looking like she's just trying to pitch out to the fairway. Gives it a lot more height than I was expecting. Almost goes across to the other side of the fairway, but lands just on the edge. She won't be able to get a full power distance shot from there. It looks like she'll have to throw a standstill. Sarah, on the other hand, wide open, has lots of room to work, and she plays something way out there to that small grove of trees, and she'll be looking right down the gap.
Yeah, that's her vanish, and she gets past the little grove right to the, I mean, really the center of the gap. So she said it has an excellent look for her birdie.
Missy also wide open in the middle, just trying to throw a big turn over, hoping for it to carry way down this hill.
It's really easy to short it or pass the gap, so just controlling where the disc lands can be difficult on this shot.
She's a little higher on the hill than you want, puts that low ceiling into play. Katrina throwing her third shot, trying to penetrate the gap, throwing something that carries way right. Doesn't quite get there, but she's looking at the basket. Definitely can save par from there.
Oh, Paige backed up against some sort of mesh fence
That
thing?
is the blockade for the next tee pad.
Oh,
Hole
gotcha.
13's tee pad.
Oh, wow. She throws a nice tall Anheuser.
That's amazing.
Yeah. She's a little short of the gap, but I mean, I think she'll be able to have a look at getting her birdie. Here's Missy contending with that low ceiling with her Undertaker.
Forced to take a knee, but still a good-looking shot. It hyzers out a little bit quicker than she wants, but it was looking great. Throwing a forehand from a knee is very challenging.
Katrina pulls it a little to the right, catches a tree, and still has maybe 100 feet to go, looking at a bogey.
Paige with the eyes to the sky.
Cutting the corner.
Carries far down there.
Yeah.
Misses all the trees. It'll be in circle 2.
I mean, from where she was on her tee shot, it was really well done to get to circle 2.
Just a pitch up.
Huh. Hokom on a knee. Oh, she kind of has to stretch out around this front corner tree here.
Oh, wow.
And she does it.
Oh, that looks great.
Awesome.
Wow. Katrina has a lot more trouble where she landed than I expected. Oh, catches a tree as it was fading towards the green.
Turning into one of those nightmare holes you just go home and think about.
Missy pitches up.
Yep, she's just taking a par. Katrina pitching up from the woods.
She'll be settling for bogey.
Isn't that a double?
Oh, yep,
Double
double.
bogey.
My bad. Paige getting through everything.
Shouting miracle.
Saving her par from where her tee shot landed.
I mean, for a second it looked like it was going to dunk into the basket. Great par save. Again, I mean, she needs those birdies, though. She's just got to keep attacking every hole.
Yeah, we're kind of coming down to the wire here where she's faced with kind of needing to birdie out at this point.
The thing is, hole 15 starts the gauntlet of incredibly difficult holes where anything can happen.
True.
And they have the luxury of seeing what the card before them did, and you know, they're the top 4 seeds, so any tie goes to the higher seed. So I mean, they kind of know exactly what they have to do.
Yeah, you know, every one of these competitors is checking the live scoring, making plans for how aggressive they want to play these next few holes. Hole 13 is a birdie hole. It's 360 feet and it's uphill, but it is definitely within range. You want to miss this skinny center tree, either right or left. Left is a little bit of a bailout. You'll have a longer putt uphill. Right, you have to push that tree line deep and hopefully hyzer onto the green.
Yeah, with the right to left sloping hill on the backhand, it's really easy to kind of skip downhill and leave yourself a long putt. This is a really tricky forehand hole, but I mean, pretty well done.
Mm-hmm. It's nice because it does, the shot will finish back towards the hole instead of down the hill like a backhand hyzer would. But it's a lot of distance to cover before that happens. Paige putting it up high. Doesn't quite flip up as much as she wants. She gets a little bit of skip down the hill. She'll be in circle 2.
It just filters so fast down that hill.
Yeah, you almost want to throw this one a little bit lower. I know it's 360 feet, so you want every bit of distance you can get, but the higher you put it, the more it filters or has time to filter.
Yeah. This is a Missy Gannon Undertaker thrown on that inside line, and it just needs to slow down.
She will be in circle 2 land as well.
Catrina throwing a slower M2. She's so good with this disc. Has the chance to land softer. Oh, man, I was looking so good.
She misses to the right of the tree, and that is where I think that's where you want to be if you want an easy birdie. Catches that last tree, but she has a pitch up.
Yeah, like you said, you kind of have to push the trees and maybe squeak through a little on the lucky side. But if you do it, you're usually parked.
Sarah with a long birdie look.
Good effort from 60 feet. Paige with something like 45 uphill. Little jumper. Oh.
Oh.
Got tricked everybody who watched it.
Oh my gosh.
It looked like it was in. That's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, that was hyzering in low. Missy from outside the circle as well. No one found circle 1 in regulation today. A little surprising with the top 8 women in the field at this weekend.
I think it's
But
just
this is a tough hole.
It's a smart hole that really makes you choose, and it's so hard to land in the circle with that slope for a right-hand backhand player.
A lot of pars in the FPO field on this hole. And that is okay as we head in to the last hole before the gauntlet.
Hole 14 is 325 feet, straight down the tunnel and then to the right. It shapes up pretty well for just a tight, straight sidearm that fades or a late turning backhand. You can throw, a mid or a fairway, or some of these ladies can probably throw putters on the backhand.
Being straight is a good error to make. You don't want to go left and an early right. There's some gaps over there.
Yeah, this is nice and straight. It's drifting a little too far left.
Knock straight down, though, in the middle of the fairway. She'll have a long look at a putt, but if you're not a little farther than that, there's not a lot of opportunities to get to the basket. You can pitch up easily, but it's really hard to get enough airspace to throw a good putt.
I think thrown a couple feet to the right, and that was looking great. Again, there's some gaps on the right that Paige might be able to find for her par. Missy with a big Z Mantis. Nice and low, turning. Again, like you said, missing straight is what you want to do because she still has a circle 2 look that's open.
Yep. And just a little bit shorter, you can see there's a whole group of trees you have to contend with.
Catrina, wow. Late release, early kick. She's going to be battling for this par.
Yeah, that is the worst case scenario there. Going early on any fairway at Hornets Nest.
This is pretty good.
Rough. But what a recovery.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks like she might be inside the circle.
I think she is. That was her H3 V2.
Wow.
Really great shape on that forehand line. Paige, really small gaps here. I think that's her Raptor.
Punching through.
Most of the way.
Yeah, she'll be inside the circle. Maybe have a couple trees in the way. That's pretty much the nature of this green in particular. Really nice looking approach from Sarah.
Missy has one tree in her way going hyzer. Oh, yes.
That was such a good putt.
Oh, man. She's got the straddle distance hyzer dialed. What is that, 50 feet? Look at her go.
She's just looking so strong. Gets every bit of distance with no problem.
Tree smack dab in the middle. She don't care.
Looks like she's just throwing like a 25-footer.
That was awesome.
Oh, looks like she kind of nudged off one of those 2 trees. A little low. What a great effort to save par there.
Paige also with a great effort to save par, and she does it.
Yes.
Good par for Sarah as well.
I feel like this is one of those holes where it's like birdie or bogey.
Yeah.
It just depends on how aggressive you want to get. Let's check in with the leaderboard before we head into the gauntlet holes.
Yeah, there's some things happening. Haley King
Shredding.
slaying it at 6 under par. Heather Young at 2 under, contending with that final 4th spot. Catrina has fallen behind. Again, if Catrina ties Heather, she'll get in over Heather, who's the lower seed. But oh, these holes are so hard. Just look at it.
I mean, it's so easy to get a birdie or a bogey on any one of these holes. The flightfactorydisc.com drone footage has us going right down this super narrow gap all the way to the green. This is a hole that is aceable, but you just have to get through those initial gaps and hopefully get somewhere out into this field and give yourself a putt.
We saw a lot of the ladies make the gap yesterday, but if you throw kind of too straight or something that drifts to the right, there is a secondary tree that really blocks you. You almost need to throw on like a steep hyzer angle to get all the way through, but then there's that tree. Missy's through, and honestly, on the left side there, it's a relatively easy par.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward as long as you get through this first one.
Ooh.
Sarah, hunting chains.
Man, I thought you were giving us a spoiler for a second. It's aceable, you know. Beautiful shot from Sarah with her crave.
Oh.
So she
A lot of action.
made the Mando and is pretty far up there.
Yeah, I kicked left, but once you get through that first line of trees, you are usually pretty able to get up and down, no problem.
I mean, she needs... Oh, did she miss it? Yeah.
No.
She missed it, and this is not an easy drop zone. Or is it?
Or is it? What a great up and down from there.
Yeah.
Standstill sidearm is looking so strong today from Catrina.
Paige and Catrina, though, I mean, depending on where Heather finishes, oh my god, talking is hard. They need to get a couple more birdies in these final holes.
Yeah, Catrina's going to move back down to even. And
Yeah.
just depending, again, they're all watching their live scoring right now. They're all checking out what the other card is doing so they know what they need to do.
Right, so they're seeing Heather at 2 down, and Paige and Catrina are battling for that last spot as well. So
That's the line right now.
Mm-hmm. Good par save from Missy. Upshot was a little short, but great putt. And Sarah for the only birdie on the card. Yes.
One of only 2 birdies on the day.
And that's a good feeling, I'm sure. Her and Missy with a nice little cushion to make sure they get in tomorrow. Hole 15 being one of the easiest holes to mess up, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's so close.
yeah, I mean, the next 3 holes are also incredibly difficult. Hole 16 is another tight gap off the fairway. It is slightly uphill, and then once you crest the hill through this very narrow gap, it goes downhill. So distance-wise, it's reachable. It's absolutely a bonus birdie. You need to throw something very flat that then gently fades at the end and maybe gets a friendly skip to give you a putt.
You almost
Par
want to
feels
like
great here.
You almost want to like turn something through the gap a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know how aggressive Sarah's going to get with the sidearm.
She's still opting for the quote unquote backhand gap. There is a sidearm gap too, but a lot of locals call it a sucker gap. It's a lot more narrow.
Yeah, there's kind of a false fairway on the far left side. Like if you shank it or get a kick that's bad enough to bounce left, you can actually reach the pin through the woods on that left side.
Missy turning it through the gap just like we said.
Oh, yeah.
Still early. This hole drives me bananas.
It's deceiving. Like you think you nail it and then you don't.
Then you get down there and you're like, oh, I have nothing. That middle early is pretty much a death sentence. Paige might. Oh, no. Oh, that's great. That's fine.
Yeah.
She'll have a hyzer shot out to the green. If you go left into the center there, it is so hard to get up and down. The basket is basically right behind the thickest part of the fairway.
This looks beautiful. Just needs to keep pushing straight a little bit longer.
That looks great.
Wow.
No,
And
it's still early.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good, though. And it's important to note that the other card has finished, and Heather Young went birdie on 17 and 18 to finish at a 3 down. So that is the number that Paige and Catrina, and I mean, really all these ladies are looking at. They know they need at least a 3.
What a great finish from Heather. 17, 18 birdies. That's amazing.
It's a really, especially 17.
That's a high bar here at the end of the round with these very challenging 16 and 17 holes.
I mean, so what that means, I mean, Paige really has to just eagle multiple holes. Like, she's basically out of it. Catrina essentially has to birdie out, and she's in position to birdie this hole. So it's a lot of pressure. Missy just needs to cruise and par, as does Sarah.
Just continue on with her blemish-free round.
It's
Still bogey-free, I believe. Ugh. I thought that was in.
Off the band. We've seen that a few times today, or rather the top. Paige with a par. So Catrina has to throw something in.
Yeah, she's got to eagle one of the next 2 holes.
We might see her step up her aggression in trying to finish the round out. Great pars from Hokom and Sarah. And it was a good par from Paige, too. But again, she's, I mean, unless she aces multiple holes, like she can't do it. How do you ace 17?
You can't ace a par 4.
Yes, you can.
Wooded hole.
Someone can do it.
You be the judge. Let's look at this fairway. Is ace within reach? It's 545 feet. You want to throw something that gets through this later gap down the fairway and lands in this little sunny spot to open up the left-hand turn to the green. You can get up and down from here 100%, but a lot of problems happen when you're a little bit too short or a little bit too deep and try to recover. The basket's elevated on this fake rock. There is no out of bounds. You really have to worry about just a ton of trees.
That rock can cause some rollaways on some upshots if you're not careful. This looks like a beautiful shape from Sarah. Ooh, catches one of the last trees, but right side is slightly friendlier than left side. And again, she just needs to par. Missy.
Oh, that looks great.
With her thrasher. Just love how she throws it. Just look how
Oh
smooth and easy. Looks like she got all the way to the ideal spot. If you
That's
could
the
walk up
perfect spot.
and put it somewhere, that's where you do it. Or in the basket, because, that's possible.
Paige grip locking a little bit, but the hyzer looks like it's playing back towards the fairway. She won't be able to have a look at approaching the green from there, but at this point, she is just finishing the round. Catrina trying to get aggressive.
Yeah, and
Trying
we're
to work her way around the corner, that's tough on this hole.
Yeah, and we're talking about Heather a lot, but Haley also, she finished with a 5 down, so she's definitely in.
So there's one more spot, I believe. Now that we have Haley, Missy, and Sarah looking pretty solid. I mean, anything can happen on 17, 100%.
Paige trying to cut the corner and hits early.
Sarah throwing her 3rd shot here.
That wasn't her drive.
I think so.
Oh.
Ooh!
Wow.
Really pushing the tree line on the right-hand side, but getting way down there. She looks like she's right around the circle's edge, maybe in
Beautiful
circle 2.
shape, yeah. Maybe 40. Paige, small gap here with her passion.
She's going big here. And it pays
Oh,
off.
yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Ramps off the top of the mountain bike track. Missy, after a essentially perfect drive,
Unbelievable drive.
still
Oh, yeah.
pushing for more birdies.
Why not? Her game just looks incredibly solid. Her confidence is enviable, off the charts.
Catrina, after a really aggressive tee shot, trying to bend the corner.
I mean, she knows that she needs to throw one in, and she's trying.
Catches a tree on the right-hand side, but she'll have a putt. Oh, never mind. She'll have a look.
Yeah, again,
Oh my God.
That's why it was worth mentioning. She could have laid up for birdie, but, I mean, I respect the play for trying to throw it in right there.
Sarah knows she can just lay up here.
Missy, too.
No reason to mess with this basket.
Yeah, you can end up with a really long comeback or if you airball.
We watched a handful of rollaways on this hole last year towards the end of the round. It was a real heartbreaker. Catrina with a super solid par. I feel like this could easily be one of the most difficult holes on the course, but we had 3 women out of the 8 playing today that got birdies on this hole, which is so impressive to me.
Yeah, for real. Rounding it out, hole 18, another par 4, 544 feet, one more tunnel to escape out of. Backhand turnover is a great play. You're just trying to punch as far out onto this grassy area as you can to open up the next shot. OB long, elevated pin.
Thanks again to FlightFactoryDisc.com for sponsoring the drone footage. They have over 2,000 discs in stock online, but a brick and mortar in Pensacola if you ever want to go check it out in person.
So Missy just looking to par. I mean, she could even bogey if she really wants, or maybe even double bogey, but she's not thinking about that. She's thinking about getting out this gap perfectly. Hokom, I believe she also has some room to play with at this point. Catrina is the closest one to her, besides, Heather is beating her.
Yeah, she forfeited the bogey on 17, knowing that she has a little bit of room to work with.
So, yeah, her and Catrina are essentially the ones battling for the last spot with Heather in at the 3 under par. Wow. Huge shot. So kind of some pressure on Hokom, Catrina could do something crazy. Or even if she birdies and Hokom takes a big number. Oof.
Just a little early. It's trouble over there. There may not be an easy way back out to the fairway.
Yeah, she's kind of cutting back through 17, it looks like. Through the green of 17.
Almost makes it out clean. Catches the last tree on the way out, but she lands in the on the edge. She'll be able to line up a shot in the open. Missy's 326 feet, according to the Bushnell Range Finder, to the green. She doesn't need any more birdies, but
Wow.
she gets way down there. She'll be in circle 2.
Man.
Smart move, keeping it nice and low. Doesn't want to mess with out of bounds.
And she could have birdied 17, and she can birdie 18 if she really wants, but she's probably saving that mental energy for tomorrow to win this thing. Wow, great recovery shot from Sarah. She has a chance at saving her par here.
Paige, according to Bushnell, is 285 feet away. Just looking to have some fun here. Floats it down to the circle's edge.
Catrina essentially needing to make this to have any kind of chance of getting in. I mean, a birdie doesn't hurt, but Hokom's pretty close and can afford the bogey. So
Wouldn't be surprised if Missy just pitching this up here. Oh,
all right.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? You know what? Yeah, give the people a show.
Sarah really wanting to convert on this.
I mean, as long as she doesn't roll a million feet away, that's also fine. Like she's
Bogey's
still in.
okay. You're right. Yep.
Still cool to see her run that.
Yep. She looks like she will solidify the final spot into tomorrow's finals. After a super strong start, Catrina let a few too many go there at the end, but there's always more next year. It's been a long season, and she's a world champion. Let's be real. She won the biggest prize.
Yeah. Catrina finishes even par for the day, which is a good score out here. But,
It
man,
really is.
some of these ladies just shooting so hot. Missy with a 5 down.
This is such a weird format, too. It's awesome. I love it. It keeps things exciting, but it's such a sudden change to go from where, you need to play consistency for 3 or 4 rounds.
To play absolutely lights out like Missy just did.
Love
Haley.
seeing Missy carry over the momentum from last week.
Absolutely.
Strong finish for tomorrow, going into the finals with a guaranteed 8 G's in the pocket.
Uh-huh. Haley also finishing 5 down. Heather with the 3, and Hokom getting in with a 2 down.
Paige giving away some discs. Take one more look at our feature cards round. Look at all the green at the beginning. I mean,
Man.
that is the perfect way to start.
Missy bogey free too.
Wow.
Yeah, what a luxury.
Bogey free at Hornets Nest is unreal.
Yeah, congratulations.
Like we already said, Haley King matching that energy with a 5 down as well. And looks like our top 4 will be rounded out with Heather Young and Sarah Hokom.
Yeah, I'm super excited to watch tomorrow, even more than normal. Should be really exciting. Thank you so much for joining us.
We hope you guys enjoyed the coverage. This format's really fun to watch. We really appreciate Gkpro doing this awesome FPO footage. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 Hot Geese.
Honk.
Honk.